All right, it's Wednesday. Ran the rest of my trip into Northern California Bay Area. Finished out my week, made my delivery at Golden Brands over there in Richmond. Finished that up. Discussed how kind of tight and unfriendly it was in that area. So when I finished being unloaded there at the consignee, I did run out 23 miles, did a PC because I was still on my 34, just said shopping, to get out to my shutdown over there at Biagi Brothers, you know, in Benicia, because that's just a quieter, it's a place where I can actually freaking find somewhere to park and not like have a bloody accident trying to get in or out of the place, as it is in the Bay Area, which is extremely unfriendly for spots. I don't like going in there. A lot of memories, different companies, different places, bad things. So I was literally at the exit, I think it's Bayshore Road, to run down there into Industrial Drive Road near my shutdown there in Benicia. All set to just go in there, get in the sleep of earth and just chill for another 24 hours, because it would have been maybe, I don't know, 9ish, 10ish by the time I got to Benicia. So I was on the exit and oh, bloody hell. I was sitting there for about 20 freaking minutes. Some idiot, I thought it was the train, the railway line, because the train runs right through there across the road in several spots within the space of a mile, like back and forth, because they've got a big factory there. In one of my videos I showed you the smoke and stack in the night. And my shutdown is literally across the road from where the train does switching, and you know, you can literally see right into the, over and across into the factory. I'm stuck there on the bloody exit for God knows how long. I thought it was a train, then I thought it was an accident, and I'm sitting there and the Indian calls me, and surprisingly I was expecting abuse right away, but he's like just quiet and muted. How come you did, why are you in Benicia? I just told him the situation with the Bay Area unfriendly, me wanting to just get to an easier shutdown. And I told him I just did PC shopping. Because other like mega carriers, you know, they all, I mean, can I get a freaking pamphlet? You know, because it's all bloody word of mouth. No one has ever given me a piece of paper that says this, from the DOT says this is what the rules are. But I'm given to understand over my several years experience, you can get maybe a half an hour total every 24 hours. And a couple of the mega carriers and a mini mega carrier I worked for, a prick of a place in Texas earlier this year, it's pretty much circa half an hour total. And he goes to me, and then he's very quiet and he's very patient. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I don't expect this from you, dude. You know, like, why don't you stop beating me up? And explain me some crap about 10 minutes and then 5 minutes before or after your 10 hours. I'm like, well, okay, whatever. I don't know even what you're talking about. But yeah, I said, okay, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, okay, next time. You know, I need to clarify it, but I can't get it from the horse's mouth with this company. I mean, I can't even get the second in charge, who I was able to get to talk to me and respond to me 4 years ago when I worked with this company. I had 2 issues 2 times with reefers, one in the dead of night. Couldn't get the bugger to respond to me. Had to figure it out all myself. As I explained in one of the videos, in one situation, quite a dangerous thing for a 63-year-old man to get up 15 foot on a freaking ladder to fill bloody coolant, right? Couldn't get the guy to come back to me. So how could I get the, instead of getting from the Indian, how could I get the freaking 2IC to call me back? You know, I texted him about 5 or 6 times over the last 12 weeks, nothing back from the guy. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, man. So I explained to him, he's all cool, and he says like 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Oh, okay. I really expected it to like just be blown out, nothing happened. I said, I'm literally on the exit, I'm going to go to my shutdown, and then I'll just sit there, do out my 34 so I can get my 70 back to which I did, and he was cool. I'm like, that's new. That's freaking new. So I got up this morning, and God, I mean, it's difficult with a 34. I mean, again, the government, they don't give you any flexibility. They don't give you any independence. They don't say, look, that person's a human being. They're all different. They have all their different things. I mean, I understand get 24 hours off before you go again. Maybe that's a bit tight compared to 34. But I've had times where I thought, well, I need 48 hours off. But you know what? Give me 34 hours off. So biorhythmically, my freaking system is always up to set the fuck up. It is. I never know how to do it. Because I only had 6 hours sleep before I delivered in Benicia. Not too bad, but still not enough. So then I was up and unloading 2 or 3 hours and over to Benicia, delivered in Richmond, then PC'd over to Benicia. So I just lay in the sleeper berth. Now it's like 10 o'clock, something around like, well, I got to be ready by 6, 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. But my body's saying, oh, don't you want to get a little bit of sleep? Oh my God, like I've done that before. I did that the last week in Benicia when I was literally delivering at Benicia. And guess what? I slept till about 2 o'clock and I was fucked the next morning. When my 34's up, I was freaking ruined. I had to start a whole freaking 14-hour day and I'm like, because you can't get the system right. Like if you get up at 2 o'clock, you're not going to get to sleep until 12, midnight, 1 o'clock, whatever. Then you got to get up at 6, 7, whatever. You're screwed. So I try to stay awake most of the day there in Benicia. Just laying in the sleeper berth, watching a few videos, just thinking, making a couple of videos that I've sent on the 6 ABC series. At some point, making those videos, contemplating my existence. And then I got up this morning and what I got from him was last week when I delivered in Benicia at Biagi Brothers, I got a phone call around about 8 o'clock-ish saying, go over the yard, drop your paperwork, because I had about 3 weeks paperwork built up, 3 trips, and then I'll have a load for you to Fresno, which is end up being the Fowler Fresno load. And that was that end of that week. My what the hell did I call that week? The Bad Moon Reprise week, where I really thought I was done. But then he sends me a phone message. He calls me and he says, "Yeah, you've got a load." I'm like, one more week of what do you call that? Not reprise, but just one more grace-saving week, an extra week before you get destroyed. So I got over here and I did stop at a Walmart in Pittsburgh. I'm not going to stop at that damn Walmart again. It's too risky. It's too tight. And I was smart this time. This week, I was smart because I got a couple of Walmarts back up on the eastern side of Southern California of LA before you get into LA, because LA is useless too. And I got a bit of stock because the previous week I'd come in and I think it was Redlands or something, and then near Benicia it was actually Martinez, because you never get enough in the Walmarts. You have to get a 2. You can't go to 1 and get what you want. No, you got to go 2, 3, 4. I didn't want to do all that, so I got them on the outskirts of LA, well, before LA, got my stock, didn't get quite enough, got enough, and so by the time I got to Richmond the other night, it's Wednesday, this would have been Monday night, shutdown, I had enough in the truck to last that night before the unload in the morning, to last the next night before the completion of the 34. So, good. And then importantly, have just a little bit extra to run a day, to start the day. If I deadhead from Benicia over here to the yard in Stockton, and I get a load, and I need my wipes and my napkins, just a little bit, just to run the day, hygiene and dirty, handling stuff with truck. And I did. I was successful. So I'm not going to that tight Walmart over in Pittsburgh, California, before the 160 again ever. So you get smart all the time. I got to make a video about how you learn things over time. Personal things, not sometimes trucking things, but also personal things about how to adapt to the situation, because it's not easy, it's hard. And then I come across the 160. I was trying to think about what I was going to put in this video this morning, because this is going to be the 8th video in the series, 8 of 8. And I'm thinking, oh man, you know, like it's foggy. It's quite foggy after the atmospheric storm, river storm. And so what happens is all the water gets into the water table this first part of winter in Northern California. As soon as you get those first big rains, it's in the water table. Then it comes up overnight. All you've got is fog the whole damn winter, because all the water just keeps coming back overnight and in the dead hours of the morning. You know, it just puts it back up in the atmosphere so you can't see. So you get a lot of accidents because people think they can drive in fog. And I'm coming up over that 160 Delta Bridge, and I'm thinking, well, I should be enjoying myself, you know, small joys of trucking, you know, look up high over that Delta Bridge and looking down at the people fishing and look at the birds. Well, I'm right on the top of the bridge and I can see jack shit because it's foggy. So then I come down, I see some nice cows in the grass, and I'm coming across that tight Delta Road along the canals there towards Rio Vista, and it's nice, and I'm enjoying that. I'm thinking about that, but I'm really just thinking about what's going in this video, and I don't know what's going in this video. And as I explained last week, or some of the stuff's just falling out of my head. I'm trying to bring it back from what my thoughts were, because that's how I operate when I do my videos. Stuff just comes at me like a myriad of thoughts in my mind as I'm driving, and later on, if I have time, I'll try to rehearse it, not often, and then what I'll do is when I get to where I'm going to be, then I make the video just like spontaneous, straight out of my head. That's what I'm doing. That's how I like to roll with that. So I get right over here, and I'm literally just on the road, just across, it's back behind me from the Stockton yard. Because this week, instead of calling me and saying, go to the yard, drop 3 weeks of the paperwork, I'll have a load for you to Fresno, which I picked up the Fresno load. That was the end of the Bad Moon Reprise week, where I thought, oh, I'm super done this week. That's it. But no. This morning he texts me, and then this morning, after doing the whole thing again, and I'm back to the yard this week, he just texted me at 8 o'clock and said, go to yard, drop paperwork, nothing else. So here I am. I got here about 10:30 last week. I got here at 11 o'clock. So I've been here for about an hour. I was just fussing around with the truck, double checking the reef was still working in case he gives me another load. Turning it on and off, running the paperwork over into the box cross, but I'm outside the yard. You know, just this issues with the truck, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to get into with him, and then it's really done. Small things that a mega carrier go, oh, just go and get it fixed, off you go again. But this guy was like, just one more excuse to just like go, you're done. So I'm here and I dropped the paperwork, and I was going to text him, say I dropped the paperwork, because I'm thinking, you know, 12 weeks, like since September the 26th when I started working with this guy, and it's been just nothing but misery since I started. And really, like, if the Titanic's hit the iceberg, and you're looking down at the water, and you can see it gushing in on the lower decks, I don't know what it is about me as a human being. What's the point in having any fear if you're fairly certain you know what's going to happen anyway? What do you want to be afraid of? What you already know is almost like a dead certainty. So that's where I'm at. I'm afraid to text him and say, oh, I dropped the paper. You say, leave the truck in yard, I have to check it. And then I'll be like, okay, fine. Last week I had literally packed up my damn suitcase. Everything was sitting on the bloody sleeper berth back in there ready to go when I got the load from Fowler Fresno, because I didn't even expect him to do, I didn't trust him, I didn't expect him to send me a load. I actually thought he was lying to me just to trick me to get to the yard, because this is the way I think about him. And this week he's given me nothing. So I don't know whether I'm going to get the load, whether he's struggling to get a load. My guardian angel said he's struggling to get loads lately. I talked about whether all my empathy, which I don't have anymore, about whether he's going to go bankrupt or not, maybe not, you know, like Freight Light. But this is where I'm at right now. I just wanted to finish my video so I can get that out of my head, and I'm going to text him and say I've dropped the paperwork at the yard. I'm here sitting outside. I don't want them seeing the freaking truck in the yard. He's in an office like 15 miles away. And then he has his brothers with trucks coming, a repair truck coming, overseeing check trucks. I don't want to do that. I just want to go off and do another load. And it's Wednesday, December the 18th, literally 1 week before Christmas Day. Ain't that just bloody great? Either I'm going to be done 1 week before Christmas, or I'll roll. And also, at some other point, I'll make some little video talking about, I was going to make it a 6D of 8, about the extra points colouring in, but I'm going to make it as another video later on if I have time and I feel like it, about what's been going on with the holiday traffic. All right, wish and pray for me.